Got to do a little singles training with DJ, and this ball is just weird. It's a weird ball. Like, hitting ground strokes with it for singles feels really good. It almost feels like a tennis ball, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just completely different than any other ball. All right, I chucked my paddle twice in practice today, maybe 3 times. I have a bit of an anger problem, okay? It's interesting because it only comes out when I play sports. So we'll say sport. I'm not just going to say pickleball because it's more of a competitive thing, right? But outside of sports, very chill person, never get worked up. But in pickleball, it's something that I really struggle with. And I always blame it on something. The anger always finds something to latch onto, which from any time it can be, maybe it's the ball. Today it was the ball's fault, because I'm using a new ball. Sometimes it's my paddle. Sometimes it's some physical thing, but I'll blame it on anything that's not me, right? Maybe it's the conditions or something. Or maybe sometimes I do blame it on myself and I'm just really mad at myself. But so it always latches onto these things. But I think I need to kind of be honest with myself. And if I am being honest with myself, it's just an accumulation of built up frustration, right? One of the big things is that I've spent 4 years playing, and a lot of times I still feel like I'm just making the same mistakes over and over again. The same mistakes that I've been making for years, right? I don't feel like I've really learned in some areas. I feel like there's some areas where no matter how hard I try, I'm just repeating the same mistakes. And it's definitely discouraging to see other people come in the sport and do really well really quickly, whereas I feel like I have to work twice as hard as them to make the same amount of progress. And that's really frustrating. And again, trying to be honest here, I think I've built up a little bit of a victim mentality, where I'm always looking at the negative side of things and seeing like coming up with excuses for why my journey has been way more difficult than everyone else's journey, right? And to some degree it has. I'm not great at the networking, and so I've had a hard time training with people who are like a level above me. That's something it's been hard for me to get into groups like that. Dealing with health problems a lot, but there's also things, I haven't played a high level tennis background, right? So obviously the transition from playing baseball to pickleball is more difficult. It's taken a lot of learning, a lot of trying to work on specific technique things. But yeah, just it's a lot of built up frustration. Even I think from things outside of pickleball, like work and not getting enough sleep and health issues like medical bills. Those are all things in the back of my mind from time to time. But like, I mean, I chose pickleball, right? So I've got to learn how to deal with it in some way. If you guys have any suggestions, drop a comment, let me know. It's very hard for me to detach from outcomes, right? Because I want to win. Like I really hate losing. That's kind of one of my like primary motivators when I play sports. And some people will criticize me for that and say it's not very healthy. And like, okay, whatever you think. Like that, like I just love competing, right? I love competing. Okay, I'll put it that way. I love competing. I don't like losing. I like winning. But growing up, sports were fun for me, but now it's like I love the act of competing itself. It's not really fun. And I'm not necessarily trying to make it fun either, right? It's funny, like Agassi playing pickleball, he was talking about, someone asked him about, something to do with like his pickleball fun. He's like talking about how fun to him is like, it doesn't always have to be like riding a roller coaster, right? Like there's the type of fun where you go hang out with your friends and play video games and do stuff like that. And that's separate for me. Like sports isn't like that for me. It's a different thing in itself, right? And I take it really seriously. And I don't think that's unhealthy. I don't think that's going to change. But I think the way that I cope with the stress and the pressure from it is unhealthy. And I need to work on that. And I really do need to focus on, sticking with it for the long term and not being discouraged and, not wasting practice sessions, because quite frankly, when I get really triggered and upset, I usually end up wasting the rest of the session, moping and doing things I shouldn't be doing and not really trying. So, and I've also got to tune in the outside part of my life, the rest of my life, to really make those practice sessions the most beneficial, because it's not just the pickleball on court practice itself. It's all the other things that I do that affect that, like how much I'm sleeping, what I'm eating. And I'm a type of person who gets out of equilibrium very easily. Some people I know are like able to, go lack of sleep and like, maybe go out and even drink one night and then be fine the next day. And I just can't do anything of the sort. Like if I don't lock in all areas of my life, I've found that it just kind of explodes. So I have to be really careful about how I do in those scenarios. So yeah, my paddle is it's messed up though, and that's completely my fault. Hopefully I can take it as a lesson and not do that anymore. But I've got another session today. I'm going to be hitting more tonight, and it was going to be a ball machine session, but I'm realizing that the lifetime ball is way different. I really need to get used to it, and so I'm going to hit with a buddy with a lifetime ball instead of using the ball machine, because I don't have enough lifetime balls to put in a ball machine. So I'm just going to go out and try to get a bunch of reps with that ball instead. So I just went on a little Easter egg hunt behind Lifetime, and I did in fact find a Lifetime ball. I hope that doesn't count as theft. I don't know if it does or not.